Good morning, class.
Good morning, Miss Emily.
Today we are going to be talking about giraffes. So can anyone tell me what color a giraffe is? Jason?
Giraffes are yellow with orange spots.
Good job. So giraffes are found, where do we find giraffes? Mary?
Africa.
Africa. Where else do we see giraffes? Locally. The zoo. Very good. So what letter does the word giraffe start with? Mary?
G.
G. So giraffe is one of our words for today with our story. So giraffe starts with G. Another word with our story is dance, which starts with the letter D. Another word with our story is music. Starts with the letter M. So we'll come back to those words throughout the story. So today we are going to be reading Giraffes Can't Dance. And after the story, we are going to write our own story up here on our paper. So Giraffes Can't Dance is by Giles Andre, and it is illustrated by Guy Parker Reese. So this is the cover of the book, and then this is the back of the book. So looking at the back of the book and the front of the book, we can see that there's going to be some dancing going on, even though it says giraffes can't dance. So we can make some predictions about they actually can dance. So we'll begin our story. Giraffes can't dance. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. So we see that Gerald is in Africa. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. So, here's the jungle dance. All the animals are here. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. Oh no. The warthogs started waltzing and the rhinos rocked and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel. And 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they began to roar. Hey, look at clumsy Gerald, the animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. So what can we say Gerald is feeling right now? How is he feeling? What do we think, Jason?
He's probably sad.
He's sad. If you were in this situation, we would feel sad also. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. Oh, Gerald. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He never felt so sad before, so sad and all alone. So we predicted right, Gerald does feel very sad at this time of the story. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up to the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket who'd seen Gerald earlier on, but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. So what do we think's going to happen here?
I think Gerald's gonna dance.
Yes, that's right. He's going to dance. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swinging round. He threw his legs out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful, his mouth was open wide. I'm dancing, yes, I'm dancing, I'm dancing, Gerald cried. So how do we think Gerald feels now? Mary?
Very happy.
Very happy. Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. So there's all the animals again, and Gerald is so happy now he can finally dance with his friends. Then he raised his head and looked at the moon and stars above. We can all dance, he said, when we find music that we love. So that was our story about Gerald. So what feelings did he feel throughout the story? Jason, what feelings did he feel throughout the story?
He was sad and then he was happy.
Thank you. Very good. So now we're going to write our story on our board here about a time we either went to the zoo and saw a giraffe or had an experience where there were giraffes there. So we're all going to discuss about it and then come back to the circle. Welcome back to the circle, class. So what story did we decide on? Mary, you can tell me the first line and I will write it on our board.
One time I went to the zoo.
Okay, so I'm going to write 1. One time I went to where did I go?
Zoo.
Good job, class. Okay, so what is the next part of our story?
I saw a giraffe.
Okay, so when we were at the zoo, I saw a giraffe. So what is our next line in the story?
The giraffe looked sad.
Oh no, the giraffe looks sad. And we remember to always end our sentence with a period. So what is the next sentence in our story, Jason?
The other animals in the zoo made the giraffe feel happy.
Yay! So the other animals in the zoo made the giraffe feel happy. End the story with a period. So now we're going to read the story all together. So we're going to say, one time I went to the zoo. I saw a giraffe. The giraffe looked sad. The other animals in the zoo made the giraffe feel happy. Thank you very much, class. That is all for our LEA reading lesson.
Thank you, Miss Emily.